Have you ever dealt with a homeowners association? They can be great for keeping a neighborhood looking nice, but sometimes, you get that one person who takes the power way too seriously. Let me tell you about my run-in with our neighborhood's very own HOA Karen. It all started when he decided to build a new fence. My old one was falling apart, and with two big dogs, he needed something sturdy to keep them safe in my yard. He spent weeks planning it, picking out the materials, and hiring a contractor. The day the work began, he was so excited. The new fence was going to look amazing, but my excitement didn't last long. About an hour into the construction, a car screeched to a halt in front of my house. Out stamped a woman I'll call Carol. Carol was the self-appointed queen of our HOA. She had a reputation for measuring people's grass with a ruler and handing out violations like they were candy. She marched right up to my property, clipboard in hand, and started yelling at the construction crew. "Stop this immediately. You can't build this here. This is a violation." He came outside to see what all the commotion was about. "Is there a problem, Carol?" he asked, trying to stay calm. She whirled around to face me, her eyes blazing. "A problem? You're building a fence on her common property. This is a serious violation. You didn't get approval, and you're encroaching on land that doesn't belong to you." He was confused. He had checked my property survey before starting. "I'm pretty sure this is my property line," he told her. She just scoffed. "Don't be ridiculous. You know exactly where the property lines are. This area," she said, gesturing wildly at the strip of grass along the sidewalk, "is common ground. You are to cease all construction immediately. You'll be receiving a formal notice of a $10,000 fine for unauthorized construction and the property damage." $10,000? My jaw just about hit the floor. She was completely serious. She scribbled furiously on her clipboard, tore off a sheet, and slapped it into my hand. Then she got back in her car and sped off, leaving me and the very confused construction crew standing there. The fine notice was real. It cited several HOA bylaws he had apparently broken and demanded he tear down what little had been built and pay the staggering fine within 30 days. He was furious, but also a little scared. 10 grand is a lot of money. He knew he had to fight this, but he also knew dealing with Ian how can be a nightmare. He called my contractor and explained the situation. He was great about it and agreed to pause the work until he sorted things out. That evening, he dug out all the paperwork from when he bought the house. He had a thick folder with deeds, surveys, and HOA documents. He spread everything out on my dining room table and started reading. He spent hours poring over the fine print. He read the HOA bylaws from front to back, and then he found it. Tucked away in the pile of documents was the official plat map of the subdivision, filed with the county. It was a detailed drawing of every lot, every street, and every property line. He grabbed a highlighter and traced my property boundaries. And there it was, clear as day. My property line didn't end at the edge of my lawn. It extended all the way to the curb. The strip of grass Carol was so adamant about being common property was, in fact, 100% mine. All of it. A huge grin spread across my face. He didn't just have an opinion. He had proof. Official, legally binding proof. Carol had no more idea what she was talking about. She had been terrorizing the neighborhood based on her own assumptions. The next HOA meeting was in a week, and it was the perfect place to present my case. He made several large copies of the plat map and he highlighted my property lines in bright yellow. He also printed out the section of the county code that confirmed the plat map was the legal definition of property boundaries. He was ready for battle. The night of the meeting, the community clubhouse was packed. Carol was at the front, running the meeting with an iron fist. When the floor opened for homeowner concerns, he was the first one to stand up. "I'd like to discuss the $10,000 fine he received for my fence," he began. Carol immediately went on the defensive. "That's not up for discussion. You violated the rules. You need to pay the fine and remove the illegal structure." "Actually," he said, walking to the front of the room, "I think we do need to discuss it." He handed a copy of the plat map to each board member, and he put a large one on an easel for everyone to see. According to this official plat map, filed with the county, my property extends to the curb. The area where my fence is being built is entirely on my land. Therefore, you have not violated any HOA bylaws regarding construction on common property. You could hear a pin drop. Carol's face went from smug to pally in about 2 seconds. She snatched the map from the board president. Andy stared at it, her mouth hanging open. The other board members were murmuring, looking at the map. Andy then at a very flustered Carol. This can't be right, she stammered. It is, he said, holding up the county code printout. This document confirms that the filed plat map is the final legal authority on property lines within the subdivision, unless the HOA can produce a more recent, legally filed document that says otherwise. My fence is on my property. The board president took the documents. Andy reviewed them. After a few minutes of conferring with the other members, he looked at me, Andy, then at Carol. He's right, he announced to the room. The fence is on his property. The fine is invalid. The room erupted in whispers. Several of my neighbors were looking at Carol. Andy, they did not look happy. It turned out she had fined other people for planting flowers or putting up decorations in that same strip of land. The board president formally apologized to me. Andy rescinded the fine on the spot. Carol didn't say a word. She just sat there, looking completely defeated. The next day, my contractors were back. Andy, we finished the fence without any more interruptions. It looks fantastic. Andy, my dogs love their secure yard. The best part? At the next HOA election, Carol was not re-elected to the board. In fact, she didn't even run. It seems her reign of terror was finally over. The new board is much more reasonable. Andy, the whole neighborhood feels a lot more relaxed. It just goes to show you, when you're dealing with someone on a power trip, always do your homework. Sometimes, a little bit of research and a highlighted map is all you need to win the day. Thanks for listening to my story. Have you ever had a crazy HOA experience? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. See you next time.